Hey everybody, it's time to delve into the classic 1940 comedy, The Philadelphia Story, starring Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart. Now in this movie, as Miss Tracy Lord, played by Katharine Hepburn, prepares to marry her second husband, George Kittredge, as played by John Howard, her first husband, C.K. Dexter Haven, Cary Grant, arrives with the writer, Macaulay Mike Connor, James Stewart, and a photographer, Elizabeth Embry, as played by Ruth Hussey, from Spy magazine, who are supposed to write about her wedding. Now, as the wedding gets closer, Tracy begins to feel quite conflicted, with George essentially putting her on a pedestal, figuratively, while Dexter and her estranged father remind her that even she has faults, and shouldn't be so harsh with her criticisms of others. Now, this movie is famous for essentially being Katharine Hepburn's big comeback movie. Apparently, partway through the 30s, she'd been labeled box office poison. I'm not sure what film exactly caused this, or whether it was even just one, but it seems like I read that maybe it was the failure of the 1935 movie Sylvia Scarlett, incidentally also the first of the four movies in which she would be paired with Cary Grant. Apparently, after a few years of mixed to dismal results in the movies, she went back to Broadway, and she got a role in the play The Philadelphia Story, which was apparently able to showcase her abilities. Howard Hughes bought the film rights and gave them to her, which pretty much allowed her the choice of director and cast, not to mention the ability to star in the movie. I'll admit I'm currently coming off my second time viewing this movie, in the first in nearly a decade, but I would say that my opinion has improved over time. Seeing it is restored on a recent Blu-ray release helps a little too. But the first time I saw this, I didn't particularly care for the movie, especially since I had seen the musical remake High Society for a few years already, and enjoyed that movie very much. So being a non-musical film version was, at that time, a strike against this one. Now, the opening scene itself, as we see Dexter and Tracy separating, with her just kind of knocking her down, was also a point against it. Now, in the time since, I've seen another reviewer suggesting that maybe that opening scene works better after having seen a few of their previous screwball films together. And when I first saw this movie, I don't think I had seen much, if any, movies from either of them. But now, years later, I have seen quite a few, including at least two of the previous three movies that they had made together. Now, that opening scene is still a little rough, but I can manage to see a little more humor in it, although apparently not as much as the audience of the time, who may have wanted to see Katharine Hepburn knocked on her keister just due to her perceived personality, which audiences did not like at the time. Now, I know I have a lot to say on this, but this is a wonderful movie and a bona fide classic. I do very heartily recommend it to anybody that's interested in it. This movie is available on Blu-ray and DVD from Criterion Collection, and is 1 hour and 52 minutes in length. Thanks for listening, everybody, and keep tuning in.